Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Skip Happens. As you know, I'm Skip Clark. I am the host of Skip Happens, also afternoon guy in upstate New York, central New York, The Wolf, 92.1 The Wolf. But tonight, I'm sitting down with one of Texas' fastest rising country artists, Hayden Haddock. Haddock. I said that right?
Okay. Yes, sir. You got it right.
Okay. I want to say from a viral college video to a number one Texas country hit. He's become a real force in the red dirt scene, they say. He's his new single, it's called Hell or High Whiskey. It dropped back in November on the 21st. It's already making some noise, and we love that. And we're talking new music. We're going to be talking life on the road and the stories behind it all. Let's get right into it. Here's Hayden Haddock. Hayden, it's good to see you, man.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Where exactly are you right now?
So I live in Rockwall, Texas right now. So just east of Dallas, about 45 minutes. But we're actually moving here in the next month. We're going to move a little bit up towards the McKinney area, which is more like north of Dallas. So about to be making a move here soon.
So you're like close enough to the city, but far enough away.
Exactly, but we still got traffic. Don't worry, it's everywhere.
So, is this like where you are now? Is this like your hometown where you grew up?
Basically, I mean, I grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I grew up in like Garland, Plano area. So, again, from here in Rockwall, probably about 45 minutes. So it's close enough. And my whole family's from the area, so we're all within about an hour of everybody. So,
what's the big thing in your town? Let me just throw it at you this way: if I was to drive into your hometown where you are now, let's forget about Dallas and all that, but you're being a suburb and probably a small town. What's the first thing I'm going to see if I drive in on the main drag?
Well, other than traffic now here in Rock, we have this big bridge that like you'd come in and you'd actually pass a big old Bass Pro, and we've got a huge lake right here, Lake Ray Hubbard. But once you get to that Bass Pro, it's a bridge that with the past few years is nothing but traffic. But outside of that, we have some great barbecue places here in Rockwall. We've got a couple of I don't know if you've heard of them, but like the Texas, what do they call it? The top 50 monthly top 50, but it's a pretty big deal here in Texas. And so we've got a couple of those joints actually right around us. And then we've got a pretty famous old live music venue called Southern Junction. So there's some stuff to do around here.
See, we were saying before we went on the air here that my wife and I had made a trip to San Antonio a couple of years ago. We ended up going to Floors General Store.
Floors Country Store. Yep.
Country Store. That's what it was. We saw one of Texas artist Colby Cooper there, and I love the atmosphere in Texas when it comes to these venues. It's just so very cool. So very cool.
Yeah, it's definitely Texas. I mean, everybody always says Texas is for sure. It's kind of own little bubble, and obviously, there's so many venues here and so many great venues. Really, almost every town you go to, you're bound to find a pretty decent live music venue.
I love it, and what I also love is it's not every time I do an interview that I'm talking to a country artist from Texas, because when I say that Texas has its own chart. You have your own country music scene, and it kind of overflows into Nashville a little bit. But, eventually some of those artists, I know I'm a fan of Randy Rogers. What was it? Pat Green. I can go on and on. Just some of the great, great Texas country artists. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So anyway, no, it's all good. I took a breath at the same time you did. It's like, but so that dorm room. Let's start right from the scratch. I did a little homework. That dorm room video, 2018, literally launched your career. What's the wildest part of looking back at that moment? And now that you're, an actual touring artist, you got millions of streams. What's all that like?
Yeah, no, it's definitely still crazy to think about. And obviously the whole thing back then was you never thought it would really amount to much. And I'm surprised it's amounted to this even, because I've heard that video a few times, a couple years after that all happened, and I'm like, sheesh, that's not very good. But
it doesn't matter though. Look what it did. It's cool.
Yeah,
I think
it's been crazy, and it's been a fun ride, and obviously we've gotten a lot done, but we've got a long way to go to get to where we want to be. But we've been busting our butts and trying to do everything we can, and that's kind of what we're gonna keep trying to do here. But yeah, no, it's definitely crazy just going from that. I almost didn't even bring a guitar um, to College Station for my freshman year, which is kind of right around that time that video was filmed or
Right,
voice memo,
right.
whatever it was, and yeah, so it's just crazy thinking about how things would have changed had I not brought that little. I think I had a little travel sized Taylor guitar. So had I not brought that kind of,
Was that
I
one of
guess
those that kind of folded up? Or was it
no,
just a small? It was just a small. Didn't they come out with a guitar at one time that it folded up? I don't know. Maybe I
I don't
saw it
know
at
that.
CRS or something.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. It sounds like something they
It was
definitely
kind of
do.
weird, actually, when it's like, that's a guitar,
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I've heard of the Baby Taylors, the
yeah.
smaller. Yeah,
That's what
okay.
this was, and
Okay.
yeah, it's actually a good little guitar for its
Yeah.
size. But yeah,
Well,
but
I've
I
heard
always
they're
think,
good.
yeah, had I not brought that with me, how things would have been different. I guess I'd be doing construction
Well,
right now, probably.
I was
So
going to say that because from what I read here, as I did a little bit of homework, as I mentioned a moment ago, that you studied construction science at Texas A&M, and then music started to pull on you pretty hard enough that you knew you had to go after it from a professional side, right?
yeah, yeah, once that video kind of came out, and then I guess I ended up playing my first like little show, which of course was just a little acoustic. I
Mm.
actually played 4 songs on the house or on the break of a house jazz band at a jazz bar in
Oh
Dallas that
wow.
someone in my family happened to know somebody who knew
Mhm.
the owner, and because of course at the time we didn't know how you got a gig or
That's who
and
you
so
know, right?
that was the best we could
Yeah.
do. So of course my whole family was there and a bunch of my friends, and yeah, so we did that one, and then that was kind of the one, being the first in front of everybody, and that wasn't a recording. Everybody was like, "Well, man, you're not half bad," and so I always say we've been rolling ever since.
That's so awesome. Now, if the 18-year-old Hayden could see you now, what would he say? And what would surprise him the most about your journey so far?
Oh man, that's a good question. Probably just keep, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but keep going and don't give up because, I mean,
Yeah.
there's definitely been some very low times where there's no doubt I'm like, hey, I've got the
Mhm.
construction degree. I could probably go make more money pretty quickly doing that. But then, the flip side of that as well, would I really be as happy as I am, for the most
Sure,
part, getting
sure.
to live out, or at least try to live out my dream of playing music for a
Well,
living. And
you have that to fall back on if something should happen, and let's hope it doesn't. And I don't think it
right.
would, but still, it's. I was going to ask, what would you be doing if you weren't doing music? And obviously, you've got this degree in construction, and there's probably so many different avenues with that. Am I
Yeah.
correct? What would you be? Would you be building houses, furniture? What would you be doing, or everything?
No, I guess if I had to imagine, it'd probably because actually, so my dad has his own interior design like architecture firm,
Oh, okay.
and he was an Aggie as well. And then actually, both of my older brothers have construction degrees from A&M. So they're both my second oldest brother, Cameron. He's actually a project manager for like a residential company where they
Mhm,
do like
mhm.
custom homes. And then my oldest brother does more of the commercial side. He's a project manager, superintendent, one of the two for more of the commercial side of stuff. So imagine to be somewhere along those lines.
Do you ever do anything with them? Did they call on you once in a while to help out, or no?
Oh no, no, they
They're
they
gonna let
work
you do
for
your thing.
pretty yeah, they work for pretty large companies. So
Oh, I got you.
yeah,
I
I
got you.
don't think
So,
I'm cool enough to go help them.
well, you are pretty cool. So, what I'm reading though, you've had a chance to sit down and write with some pretty big, some heavy hitters. I know David Lee Murphy, I saw on the list. I'm looking here. Kevin Fowler, by the way, that was the name I should have mentioned earlier. Love his music. Trent Wilmon, Terry McBride, McBride in the Ride, dude.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. And Terry, of course, he has written so
Oh
many
yeah,
big songs. I think if I'm not mistaken, he did a lot for Brooks and Dunn as well. I think
I
did he
believe
write
so.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Red Dirt Road and songs like that? I
I think
believe.
so,
I
and
believe. I believe.
I should know that because yeah, me and my drummer were actually just talking because we just ran into Terry McBride at a gas station.
Mm.
Or I say we, actually my band. I wasn't with them, but and they were talking and stuff, and then me and BJ started talking about all the songs he had written. And I know there was a bunch of that Brooks and Dunn stuff, but I can't remember which
Yeah,
ones he
yeah.
was
He
listing
came
off.
he came by the radio station once, and we were talking, and all of a sudden he started just rattling off some of the songs he's been involved in, and it's like I knew a lot of them, but then there's others. I go, holy crap, you were I had no idea that he
Yeah.
writes some of those. So, which is pretty cool. What's the biggest writing room lesson that you've learned from writing with those guys, the heavy hitters,
Yeah,
as I would say?
yeah, probably just don't be afraid to, I guess, like speak your mind while you're in a
Hmm.
writing room or throw out your ideas, I guess maybe is a better way to put that. But and I mean, I'm still like this, even though, as I just said, some of these bigger guys have said to not be scared. But I've always been afraid of saying something stupid or something that other people won't like or something.
Dude, I'm doing this. I say
Yeah,
stupid things. It's like
yeah,
afterwards I go, why did I do that? Why did I
yeah.
say that? But no, I get you. I hear you.
No, but of course their thing is like, well, even if you say something and maybe it's not the best line or whatever it
Mhm.
may be, that can always help spark, someone else's mind with a different line or a different idea or make the song go a whole different direction. So
Mhm.
that's probably been the biggest thing is just don't be afraid to kind of when something comes to your mind, just say it.
Yeah, one thing I usually don't talk about is too much, or I will ask is, who are you influenced by? But then I looked it up a little bit, and it's like you're big into straight. You got Tracy Lawrence, Tracy, hell of a guy, love Tracy, Cody Johnson. I
Yep.
mean, they're from bull riding to doing what you're doing, being out there, and Clay Walker as well. How do you create a modern Hayden Haddock sound while keeping that Texas tradition alive?
I don't know. I think just really just working with the right people. I pretty much all the songs that we've had out for the last, I guess, since 2020 from my album Red Dirt Texas,
Hmm.
and then through all the singles up until Hell or High Whiskey. Those were all produced by Trent Willman, who's obviously Cody Johnson's longtime producer, Kevin
Hmm.
Fowler's longtime
Hmm.
producer,
Hmm.
and a lot of guys like that. And really, if you go listen to a lot of the stuff he's done. And obviously, Cody kind of being the biggest, but it
Yeah.
it kind of keeps that traditional line, yeah, or that traditional thing going, but also riding the line of okay, there's a little bit of modern twist to it, but you're not going to hear all the snap tracks and whatever it may be. And no knock against them, it's just not what I want to do.
No, and I
Um,
don't blame you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so anyways, I'd say yeah, just kind of making sure, especially with your producer on stuff, making sure you're on the same page of like, hey, all right, we want to keep this kind of traditional
How,
traditional sound going.
yeah. How do you, Hayden, how do you handle, you do 80 plus shows a year. How do you handle, all that road life and how it ends up in your songwriting, the exhaustion, the adrenaline, and the weird hotel stories, all of it? I imagine that's got to be a little crazy, but how do you handle it? 80 shows a year is a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and I think we're on track to do more, over 100 this year. Actually, the goal is to get up closer to 200 at some point. I know it
Wow.
sounds like a lot, but obviously, kind of part of it. But yeah, no, I don't know. Really just I don't know, kind of got to watch yourself because obviously there's a lot of drinking that you're surrounded with, a lot of late nights, obviously a lot of
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
food you're surrounded with because guess what, when you're finally loaded out of the venue at 2 a.m., there's not a lot of healthy options to eat.
No, no, no. I know
um
that. Been there.
and
Yeah,
so yeah, I
exactly.
mean, so really just, I mean, you're never going to be perfect, but definitely at least
What
keeping a you know trying to keep a good.
let's talk about eating a little bit. You had to change your diet. If I was now, I'm probably very close to well, you're. I don't know if I can get into the personal stuff, but I think I read like a type 2 diabetic or
Type 1, yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right, yeah. Oh, it's type 1. All right. So
Hmm.
my diet had to change here recently because I was right on the edge of
Gotcha.
possibly needing insulin. I mean, my A1C was so high, and now I take meds for that and other things, and I've lost weight and I feel great, and
Right.
I've changed my eating habits. But that's got to be so hard for you, knowing that you mentioned the late nights. I mean, you get done at 2 a.m. You're gonna go and yeah, you're gonna eat some crap. I
Yeah.
mean, but you got to get something in your stomach, so to speak.
Right.
So, how do you handle all that?
Yeah, really. I mean, I wish I had a real cool answer for you, but
Yeah.
really, I think with that, it's just kind of you got to almost kind of roll with the punches. And luckily,
Yeah.
like I wear a Omnipod insulin
Hmm.
pump and a
Yep.
Dexcom continuous glucose monitor, and now the way they have the technology, those things work together, and it's pretty much, they call
That's
it a
pretty
closed
cool.
loop system, which is like the
Yeah.
closest you can get to a functioning pancreas. I'm sure we're
Yeah.
boring the audience with the medical talk right
No,
now,
but that's
but
no. Yeah, you know what? When I talk, I don't think we bore anybody because when we talk like this, not only about your music, but a little bit about you personally, we talk about where you live, and that's why I ask some of the questions like that because you know what? You're no different than I am, and somebody that's watching this,
right.
somebody that's listening to this, except that you're a musician, you're an artist, and you have a talent. Everybody's got their own talent, and this is your talent. This is, so it's interesting. If somebody, they hear you on radio or they go to one of your shows, they're going to go, yeah, that guy, you know what? He goes to the same store I go to. He drives the same truck I drive.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the stuff I think is cool. And that's what I bring out when I do the podcast is to prove to everybody that these guys are real. The artists are real. They're real people.
Yeah, that's it. I was just listening to, because I listen to a lot of podcasts. I can't remember who it was. It may have been actually Joe Rogan and Billy
Hmm.
Bob Thornton or something like
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
that they were just talking about, basically, yeah, people, I think it was Billy Bob obviously saying it, but people don't want to see pictures of you on stage. They want to see pictures of you, eating a steak or, yeah, shopping at the grocery
Well, it's
store,
true.
doing
It's
regular people
true.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, holy crap! I saw McGraw at this store in
Yeah.
Nashville the other day. It's like, wow, he was picking up a sack of potatoes. I mean, he's
Yeah.
going home to make potato salad or something. I
Right.
guess that's exactly what you're saying. I want to talk about the new single. That's one of the big reasons that we have you on tonight. Not only that you're a number one artist in Texas, but let's talk about Hell or High Whiskey. Um, what's the story behind that, and where did the idea or emotion come from?
Yeah, so honestly, we wrote that because I went and lived in Nashville. Me and my now wife, at the time she
Hmm.
was my fiance, but we went and lived in Nashville for a year after I graduated college. And so that year while we were living there, I was doing quite a bit of writing. And so I went into a write one day with, it was actually this lady, one of the writers on it. Her name's Liz Hangber.
Okay.
And she was one of the writers on one of my previous singles called He Sings for Mary. And anyway, she'd been wanting to get back in the room. And so she said, hey, I've got to write with, obviously myself, and then a guy named Matt Willis and Frank Maroney. Do you want to join? So went in and first 10 minutes we all got some coffee and we're trying to figure out what we wanted to write. And I guess I was the only like artist in the room. So typically when that happens, they always say, well, what song do you need? What do you want to write? Um, I'm like, look, I don't know. I didn't come with any bright ideas, so we can do whatever. And so I think it was Matt Willis. He's like, man, I've had this title called Hell or High Whiskey. He goes, I don't know what it's about, but he goes, just like Hell or High Water, but Hell or, just
Hmm.
thought it was a cool idea. And so we fumbled around with some other ideas, but everyone seemed to kept coming back to that title. And so kind of the rest is history. We sat there and wrote on it for the next few hours, and yeah, and we think we got a really
Wow.
good song out of it.
I love it. I love it. And if not mistaken, I think I listened to the link that Kat sent me. I was going to try to download it to play a little bit of it, but I couldn't do that. But I will attach it to the this interview afterwards. So if you're
Great.
watching this or listening to this, it'll be at a link, below this. But I'd love, if I'm not mistaken, you hit some steel in the beginning. You have the
Yeah.
steel guitar. Yeah, I love that. I love it. You can't go wrong with a good steel. So,
Yeah. No, and I just got a really, I don't know if badass, if I'm allowed to cuss, if I'm not, sorry, but
it's a podcast.
badass, yeah.
Nobody cares.
Just got a badass steel player in my band, and so that when we went in to record this,
Mhm.
it's another thing. When I go into the studio, I'm big on, and I know there's some things you got to do and let
Mhm.
slide, but it's kind of one of those deals where it's like, all right, if we go into the studio and I don't have a keys player, why are we going to have a minute and a half long keys? So you know what I mean, when you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
pull
yeah,
it
yeah,
off.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, granted, they're still fiddling stuff on the and all that. But yeah, with the steel, I was like, go big on the steel for this because I was like, Mike, my player, I was like, he's gonna love it. So
Cool.
sure
So
enough, this is his new favorite.
this steel player is the guy that's out with you doing the shows too.
Right.
Cool. Because there are, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of artists that go in the studio and it's a completely different band. It's all studio musicians, and they hit the road, they have a touring band. So, I mean, that's what happens around here a lot. It's like two different,
Yeah, and we
groups of
we do
guys.
that too. There is a I don't. There's definitely pros and cons, I would
Mm,
say, because I will say some these studio musicians, they are
the best.
just incredibly talented.
Yeah.
They're usually, yeah, the best. And I always say it's not even really a talent thing. It's how almost like how fast their mind just picks up on stuff. Because you'll play them, play the studio musicians like
Hmm. Hmm.
a rough track where let's just say it's just my vocals and the acoustic guitar. Um, and I mean, within two tries of them
They
running the
have it.
song together, it sounds like they've been playing the song, yeah, on the road
That's
for,
talent.
100 dates a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. That's talent.
So it's
Yeah.
just crazy. But yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to it for
Hmm.
sure.
And I made a note, Barroom Country Energy. And what made this the right track to put out right now?
Well, really, just after talking with the management company and
Hmm.
including Kat and everybody, because our last single, "Keep Me Up," it was a good little mid tempo but kind of breakup song, um, and anyways, and then this song for some reason also playing this for everybody, including my band, including my wife,
Hmm.
family, friends. Um, I played them this, and we actually recorded two more songs at the same time, so we had three total, and they're three completely different songs.
Okay.
And literally, I think 99% of people were like, "Man, they're all good, but that Hell or High Whiskey, you've got something
So,
there." So.
with all that being said, Hayden, is Hell or High Whiskey part of a bigger rollout? Maybe an EP, an album, or steady singles for the
Yeah,
remainder of the year and into
it's a
26?
It's a good question. We get asked that all the time, and
Mhm.
we've had me and the management team have had many discussions about it. I think for right now we're gonna keep doing the single thing, um, just until we feel like doing something else would have the benefit. But right now it's just
Mhm.
kind of from what we've seen and what we've been told by a lot of people is that especially for younger upcoming artists, um, is the single thing just seems to have more
Yeah.
effect. Because obviously, yeah, it's like we can put this one out, and then a month and a half, 2 months later, we can roll another one out. Then another month and a
Right.
half, two. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah. And
But
don't
what I do,
stop. Man.
yeah, at some point, I do want to roll up all the singles and at least do make a vinyl out
I
of
love
them.
that. Oh, the vinyl. Vinyl's the way to
Yeah,
go now. I
I
mean,
know it's coming
it's
back.
man, I'm getting vinyl every day in the mail.
Hmm.
I got a Lanny Gardner. It's just everybody is like as well as the digital side of things, but they're sending out the vinyl,
Yep.
like the whole album, which is cool. And I love that. I had to go out and get another record player. It's like
Yeah.
I got rid of that years ago. I had to go get another one. But it's so very cool that artists are doing that, and I think that'd be a great idea if you did something like that as well.
Yeah.
I mean that is so cool. Um, you know, let me ask you. I don't know if you're aware of this, but this could be a. It makes me very angry. I'll tell you why. AI. I love AI.
Hmm.
Don't now. Here's all right. There's two sides of AI. There's a side that it can help you. You're
Right.
kind of lost for a word, or you need a I don't know, a line, or like me in the radio side of things when I'm writing commercials or I need to write a promo or a sweeper, what we call them in the business, or something like that. I can go on AI and say, this is what I'm thinking of, and it'll spit something out. Now, this morning, I'm watching Good Morning America, and they're talking about the song that is at the top of the Billboard charts right now, which is all AI. It's by an artist, was it Breakout Russ, Breakthrough, I don't know, something like that. And the guy doesn't exist. The song doesn't freaking exist, but it's AI. I mean, really, but it's at the top of the charts. That
Yeah.
made me very angry because I look at you like I'm looking at you right now. Somebody, you're out there busting your ass. You're out there, you're writing songs, you're putting music out, and this is your livelihood. Now that's out there. I mean, how do you
Yeah.
feel, as an artist? What are you feeling when you hear something like that?
Yeah, no, I think it's insane, and it's funny you're even bringing that up because I literally just sent that. Some article popped up on my Instagram
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
morning of that guy being number one. So I sent that to my wife and brother and all of my band guys, and then actually right before we got on here to do this, Woody Harrelson was doing. I don't know if you've seen those Hot Ones things, the
Oh yeah, yeah,
interviews,
yeah, yeah,
the Hot
yeah.
Wings.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I guess at the end of it, he was talking about he's kind of scared for acting in the next 10 years. So even my wife was like, "Well, what does that mean for, acting artists like you in the next 10 years?"
I think it's
I'm like, "It's
bullshit.
gonna get weird."
It's going to get
Yeah.
really weird, but I mean, you have a talent that nobody else. will have. You've got your own. You're unique. You are Hayden Haddock. You are
Yeah.
you. You've got a great talent. Everybody's got their own talent. But then this is stuff like this is just I don't know. It's scary. And you're right. I don't know if we're going to be able to stop it. How are we going to stop it? I don't know.
I guess the only thing would be, that's what I was just telling, I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone would be willing to write, some kind of laws into play. I feel like that's the only
Well, they
way that
need to
would
do
even,
something. They
but
don't even
yeah.
know who did this. They even there's a name on there. Then they did a search for that name, and it didn't. Apparently, it
Oh
didn't
my gosh.
exist. So
I
nobody
haven't
knows.
I haven't looked far
I don't
into
know.
it.
All
I
right,
just
I
saw it
didn't
this
mean. Now I
morning,
get
but
your feathers all ruffled. But mine are too. I'm going to tell you from the other side of things, from the radio side, this is not right. It's not right.
yeah,
So it's crazy. All right,
we'll
change the
see.
subject. So I want you know what? You've had a number one song on the Texas country music chart and a front porch in the rain. And how did hitting that milestone change your confidence going into the new music? I mean, that first of all, what was that like hitting number one? And then, how did that change your confidence going into the, what you have now with the new music?
Yeah, no, it was definitely an awesome feeling. And it's kind of one of those things. We've been promoting, I think pretty much. I think we promoted a couple songs off my first CD that we had. So we've been promoting songs out to radio for, I mean, it's got to be close to 7 years.
Hmm.
And of course that one just went number one here, not too long ago. And so it was just a great feeling that after all those years, with obviously all those years, the goal being to get to the number one spot, and we just, we had gotten to, I think, number 10, had a couple top 15s, few top 20, so we were always kind of sniffing around, getting up there, but never could quite catch it. And then actually that song I mentioned, He Sings Mary, that had gone to number 7, and then that very next one, Front Porch in the Rain, went to number 1. So no, it was a
Very
great
cool.
feeling to finally be able to, kind of put that feather in my hat.
That
Definitely,
is so cool.
definitely an exciting thing. And then yeah, we're actually trying to get our second number one right now, because we actually still have Keep Me Up, which was my last single. That's actually been our radio
Hmm.
single, and it's been running a long
Yeah.
course, longer than normal. But it
That
it
dropped in May, right? Am I right to say?
oh,
Because I
you're quizzing me on stuff, and I'm
All right,
terrible
I
with
know, I know. It
timelines.
gets crazy. Yeah, no, no.
Yeah,
I just, from the radio side of things, just because, we're kind of in a different world here in the Northeast than you are in Texas when it
right.
comes to music, but I keep track of everything.
Yeah.
I watch it. Like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of the Texas country music scene. As a matter of fact, there's a programmer in Stillwater, Oklahoma. His name's Jason Krantz. Says we play his music here on the radio. So that's cool.
Oh, awesome. Well,
That's
thank you.
cool. Yep, yep. And I got some. Oh, I wasn't looking at all these comments. Oh
Oh,
yeah, a lot about. There's stuff in
now
there
I
about
see.
AI, but very cool. Anyways, so let's get back to it. It's like I make a turn and we go. So you're a part of Good Company Entertainment. What does having the right team behind you allow you to do now that you couldn't do early on?
Yeah, yeah, Good Company. That's obviously, the new management company I signed with. I
Hmm.
guess it was December of last year, something like that. But we really got going, early this year. And no, they've been nothing but great. They've got a full team with them, so we've got a lot of stuff in house, which is absolutely great. Not having to outsource a bunch of stuff, but yeah, Keith Gale's the
Yeah.
head manager over there, and I love him. We just actually got back from Nashville a couple weeks ago, going down there to finally let Sierra, my wife, meet the team and meet him, and
Cool.
get to hang out with Keith and his
Yeah, I know
his
Keith.
girlfriend, and yeah,
Very
so
cool.
we have very good thoughts and feelings about everything that's to come with those guys, and we're excited. Yeah, the Heller High Whiskey release is kind of their first full release under them.
It's exciting
Or
though.
working with them, and
Very
so
cool. You've been featured in Billboard, Taste of Country, Country Now. And how have you learned to navigate the business side of being, a modern artist without losing sight of the art?
well, that's a good question. I guess just not getting too wrapped up in the social media stuff.
But
If
that's
that kind
hard
of
not
make
to.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, sometimes like not maybe not reading all the comments, is for the best. There's always a negative comment on anything.
Well, haters are going to
Um,
hate. That's all there is. Everybody says that.
yeah.
I know that, but it's so true.
Well, hey,
It
and
is
if
what it is.
what is it? Everybody tells you if you don't have hater or if someone's hating on you, you're doing something right because that means people are paying
I was just
attention.
going to say
Yeah.
that. That means they've got an ear on you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're listening. It's the same thing in radio. I mean, if
Yeah.
somebody bitches about something, it's like, right, they're listening. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, you never hear from the people that have something good to say. But
Yeah.
I shouldn't say you never, very rarely, but you'll always hear from somebody that's got a bitch about something when they don't like your
Right.
sound or whatever. It's the same thing for radio. But that means, like I said, they're listening. And we say thank you.
Yeah.
100%. And so, I want to get back to a little bit about your health because you've been through a lot and you have a journey going. You're open about living with type 1 diabetes. How does that affect life on the road? And what do fans really see about the day-to-day reality with you?
Yeah. So being on the road, I mean, like we kind of talked about earlier, definitely just obviously watching obviously diet's a big thing,
Hmm.
with diabetes in general. So yeah, just kind of watching that stuff. And then obviously, another big thing is, actually a huge thing because it's been a problem that I've had to learn from, but not having
Hmm.
enough extra supplies with me or
Hmm.
backup supplies. And then, we're in, Missouri or something, and I'm trying to get a prescription called,
Hmm.
so now I just travel with, three times of everything, that I could possibly need. Teaching the band how to use
Just in
an
case, just
emergency
in case.
glucagon
Yep.
shot. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
That's what I've learned is the best strategy. But yeah, really, I mean, and then in terms of the fans and stuff, I guess they really don't see much of it
Hmm.
going on because obviously I take care of a lot of that stuff before the show
Exactly.
um,
Yeah.
and all that, which is obviously how it should be. But there's only been a couple times where like during the set, I've had to kind of stop or let the band roll a little bit, and I'll be trying to get my TM or my merch guy or whoever can see
Hmm.
me really be like, I need a
Hmm.
Dr. Pepper or something with some
Yeah,
sugar in it.
yes. I need a little
Yeah,
bit of sugar. Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe you do like a hand gesture or something that they'll
mm,
see and go, okay, we got to get this up to Hayden now.
yeah,
Yeah. But you're not alone. You're not alone. And I think there's so many Americans that are so many people going through the same thing that you're going through, and I just about going through. When it comes to that, you've worked closely with JDRF. What's one misconception about type 1 diabetes that you always find yourself correcting? You know?
Oh, probably the biggest one, the easiest one's that you can't eat sugar. That's always the fun one. Yeah, that someone will find out I have diabetes and oh my gosh, so you can't eat sugar?
No,
Or
wrong.
I'll be about to take a bite of
A,
something.
a
Like, you
Reese's
sure you
peanut
can
butter
eat that?
cup.
Yeah. Like I
I
promise I can eat it.
Yeah, I did. We have the Reese's here left over from Halloween, and I grabbed a 2-pack before I came on here tonight. Open it up. My son's like, "No sugar, Dad." I'm like, "All right, Zach. No, Dad can have some sugar." So
Yeah.
yeah, it's all good. When fans meet you off stage, what's something that will surprise them? Maybe I don't know, a hobby, personality trait, something totally random. Is there
Hmm.
something? I know it's a
I
crazy
don't
question.
know.
I have
I'm
some of these
short.
crazy
I don't know.
questions. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're short.
I don't know. Probably a lot of people because I wear dress shirts a lot, and most of the time I'll roll them up,
So
roll
you
my
see the
sleeves up a
tats?
couple of times. Yeah, but then I guess sometimes after shows I'll pull my sleeves up the rest. So some people, like, especially if we're like
Yeah.
opening for somebody and it's people that haven't really seen us before, yeah, they always are shocked by how many tattoos I have.
Well, you got a full
I don't know.
sleeve. I know on one arm. Do you have a full sleeve on both?
No, I've got the sleeve on that arm, and I've got a bunch of random stuff on the
Mm.
other. But then sometimes too, like when I wear a dress shirt,
Yep. Yep.
and the buttons, I've got like both my chest is all tattooed.
That's cool.
Got one on my
When did you
leg.
get your
Yeah.
first tat?
Oh, when probably freshman year of
Okay.
college. Yeah, I
Was
don't think my family even knows that because I hid it for a while, but we'll break it here.
It's kind of what I was
Yeah,
gonna say. So did
yeah.
mom and dad know you're out there getting a tat? No,
No,
absolutely not. But you're
not
old enough
that
to
one.
do it yourself. So
Yeah,
get it
and there
done.
was only so much they could say because I think my oldest brother had already had a full sleeve from at that time, and then
Mhm.
my second oldest brother, I think he started his little
So
sleeve, and then
cool.
but my first tattoo was a little baby thing up by my armpit. You
Yeah,
couldn't
but
even
once
see
once
it.
you
So
get one, you're going to want to get another. I've got a couple,
yeah,
and it's like now, okay, I want to dress this one up. I want to, I'm starting to think about that. Even at my age, it's like,
yeah.
I just now
Hey,
I
they're
want more.
fun. They just get expensive real quick.
Yeah, they do. It does add up. So we got to get you on more shows. No, you already
Yeah,
got plenty.
yeah,
That's all.
exactly.
Yeah. So what do you get around town in? What do you drive a truck? I would assume you're in Texas. You have a dually?
Yeah, no, I do
No.
not. I
Okay.
used to have an F-250,
Nice.
but then I got tired of paying for maintenance on that thing and paying for diesel because the whole idea was I got that when we finally got like a big um, band trailer, like a full
Uh-huh.
size, big boy, 14 foot or 15 foot, whatever it is, and the idea was if I was gonna have to pull that around, well, then pretty much as soon as I got that truck, it wasn't a few months later, and we decided we were gonna go ahead and get into a Sprinter van.
Oh yeah.
And so that truck, I had it for I don't know 2 or 3 years, and it never once got hooked up to pull anything. so so then after that, I
Uh,
went back, and my little brother actually got that truck. He got one hell of a first truck. But and
that's
then
cool.
I've got a 1500 Silverado now.
No,
But
I
yeah,
was going to go.
still a
Do you have a
truck.
Silverado? I know. I've had the Chevys. I've had the Ram. I've had the Ford. Not
Yeah.
the 250, just the 150. But still, now I'm driving around in a baby truck. I got a Chevy Colorado, which is still nice. I mean, the new
Hey,
Colorados are
I've had a
beautiful.
couple Tacomas, and sometimes
Yeah,
I miss my little Tacoma.
yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, this is I don't know. I fell in love with it. So it's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool. It's very cool. So, what album, when you were growing up, what album did you wear out? Like you listened to over and over and over again?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember any album specifically, but I know, I mean, kind of probably as you'd guess, because I think you kind of mentioned it earlier, but really just a lot of that 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Because I remember just between my dad, my uncle, and
Hmm.
and my brother in his truck, just a lot of Tracy Lawrence, Clay Walker, George Strait, and I guess that's where all that that influence that I talk about came from. And then yeah, of course, being a Texas guy and all that stuff. I think it was actually my brother Cameron that kind of introduced me and my whole family to Cody Johnson when,
Mm.
like, I think it was like Diamond in My Pocket first came out or
Oh
something like
yeah.
that. And
Oh
so,
yeah.
I mean, I remember driving to go see Cody actually not far from here, Silver Saloon in Terrell.
Cool.
My junior year of high school, going to see him, and I was butting up to get to the front of the stage, and now we've played there a few times, so kind of a cool full circle thing. But yeah, so I don't know, just a lot, mainly that '90s stuff though, for sure. And a lot of Randy
Yeah.
Travis. My dad was always a big Randy Travis fan.
Now, as a fan, you talk about that though, like AJ Allen Jackson, and now I'm listening to the Zach Top. I mean, I love that stuff,
Yep.
and it's cool
Yep.
with Zach Top. I know this isn't about me, but I can tell you the drummer went to the same high school I went to. Nick Felty is
Oh,
from
nice.
this area, and it's like, dude, when he played, they were here for a show. I forgot who they were opening up for a couple of years ago, and I go, that's Nate. What the hell?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, yeah, but I thought it was cool. So dream, I'm sure you get asked this a million times. Dream duet partner, Straight, Tracy, Kojo, Clay,
That's a great
who
question.
you picking and why?
I guess I want to say George Strait, but I feel like everybody would say George Strait, so I'm gonna go. Yeah, probably Tracy Lawrence.
Yeah,
Just because, yeah, probably outside of George, I think he might be kind
that's
of my
cool.
number one
That's cool.
influence guy. And the modern guy, definitely a Cody Johnson thing.
So,
Cody Johnson or John Party, honestly. I'm also
yeah.
a big John Party
Oh,
fan.
John
So.
Party's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So if I was to tell somebody about you, I said, hey, I interviewed this guy, Hayden Haddock. He's really cool. And they said, well, what's his music? What would be the first song I should tell them to listen to? You know what I mean? That they're going to go, wow, yeah, okay. I like
Well, Hell or High Whiskey, of course.
it." Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Of
No,
course,
Heller High Whiskey is obviously a great one.
to get them started on you.
Keep Me Up was a really good song,
Okay.
or is a really good song.
It is, yeah.
I think that very well written. Me and Trent actually wrote that together, and we from the time we wrote that we really loved that song and had good feelings about it. And then another one of my favorites. It was kind of slept on in my opinion. I wish it would have done more. But it was a single, I think in early 2024. But it's called Rolling Stone. That is a
Oh, wow.
great song. Even just from the lyric side of it,
Yeah.
it's a great song.
So, how often do you get to Nashville?
Now it's pretty much been once every couple months or
Yeah.
so. But really I like to say it's on a need to go basis. So I mean if they
Do
need
you
me.
really want to go to Nashville? You've got everything right there.
Yeah, no, I don't mind going at all. Nowadays, it's more so for like if we have meetings or something
Sure,
that's
sure. Right.
with people up there, um, or if I just need to go right, then I'll go.
Mhm.
But we try to make sure that I'm not just flying up there to I don't know to
Yeah,
write
yeah.
once and then sit
Right,
there.
right,
So
right.
we'll try to if we're gonna go, we'll try to get meetings. I'll try to do a couple writers rounds. I'll try to get a few writes in. You know what I mean? We'll try to pack the
Mhm.
schedule
So,
as full as we can.
yeah, are you happy? I mean, obviously you're happy, but I mean, you're Texas and Texas country. Is there going to be a time where you'd say, you know what, I want to expand. I want to hit everywhere. I want to be on the big chart. Not that Texas isn't. Don't take it
Yeah,
the wrong way. But I want to be on that big chart. I want to be on Media Base. I
yeah.
want to do that. Do you think that time will come,
Yeah,
or is
no, that's absolutely that's the goal.
yeah,
And yeah, like you said, there's some guys that are absolutely content with staying to be a Texas artist, we'll say.
hmm hmm
And yeah, they don't care to go do the Nashville thing or the national thing. Um, and that's fine because there's obviously, I mean, you
oh
can tour
yeah,
Texas all year and you'll never play all the venues
right,
around
right,
here.
right.
And you can definitely make more than enough to have a good living playing in Texas. But yeah, I guess just over the years working with Trent and kind of seeing what Cody did coming from Texas to now where he's
Mm,
at,
yeah, yeah,
that definitely, kind of sparked a fire under my ass
yeah.
to
I can
well,
see
hey, it
that.
made me realize there's a lot more out there. And I mean that in a good
But look
way.
what you're doing, dude. You're killing
Yeah,
it. You're doing
well,
great.
we're trying, yeah.
Well,
But
you
yeah,
are
no,
trying,
definitely,
and you're successful. So that's
yeah.
cool.
But no, definitely the goal is to get out and kind of do the national thing. Basically, take it as big as we can take it, is what I always say.
Exactly. What is the Texas? What is the most Texas thing you've ever done that you're oddly proud of?
Oh shit, most Texas thing. I don't know. Maybe
Uh,
cooked a pretty good brisket, smoked a pretty
yeah.
good
Well,
brisket.
we
That's
do
pretty
that here,
Texas.
though. I mean, it's
Yeah,
for
well,
example, maybe it's not the same though. Maybe
yeah,
it's Texas. It may taste different, even though it's not
yeah.
really different. But it's Texas. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know, other than like hunting and fishing stuff, but yeah, everybody does that.
Yeah.
I can't really think of
So,
anything.
do
Just
you hunt and fish?
yeah, I do.
You do?
Wish I could do it more, but kind
Yeah.
of time
Well,
time pending.
80 shows a year. It's got you. It's got you going pretty good though. Are you a deer hunter?
Yep,
Yep.
deer, and then
Okay.
obviously we'll go and hunt hogs, and then
Mhm.
bird hunting when it's time. And
I see a lot of
pretty,
videos on the hogs. Is that a big problem there that they,
oh yeah,
yeah,
they're a big nuisance. So a lot of like landowners, they'll
they
let you
ruin the
come shoot
land,
pig.
right?
Yeah, yeah, and they'll let you come shoot
Wow.
pigs for free just to help them out.
Now,
Yeah,
are they edible? I'm sorry if that's
yeah.
a stupid question. I'm just,
No, they are. Some people are kind of weirded out by eating them just because they are like wild
yeah,
pigs,
yeah.
and they're obviously pretty nasty animals.
Mhm.
But like we in our deep freezer, we've got some hog breakfast sausage right now. And then my brother I'm trying to think of what that was that he cooked. He cooked something else from a pig. It may have been the backstrap or something. I don't know, but he cooked
Yeah,
something else
yeah.
the other night. And it was actually pretty good. So it's kind of one of those things. As long as you can get over that, you're not eating, or that you're eating, kind of a nasty wild pig,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it tastes decent.
Well, I mean, you have to cook it a certain way. I mean,
Yeah,
just like with venison, if you just cook it just venison without putting onions and peppers and spicing it up
yeah,
a little bit, it's like kind of bland.
right.
But if you cook it the right way. So, oh, Michael James just said hogging is fun. I don't know. Like I say, I've never done it. So, but anyways, so that, yeah, just trying to think. Wow. So your family, before I let you go, you're the only music. Oh, I think he just said goodbye. No, there he is. He's back. You disappeared for a second, dude. Are you there? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hold on, you cut out.
All right. I'm hanging. That's all good. It's all good. It's Hayden Haddock, everybody. He's a number one recording artist in Texas. So, and he had a song go all the way to number one. And
are you back? I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Okay. How about now? How about now? What about now? That was a Lone Star song. But anyways, can you hear me? No?
I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Oh, he's going to go out and come back. But if you get a chance, check out his music. Definitely jump online. You can follow him on YouTube.
Now I can hear you.
You can
hear you now.
I was just telling everybody.
Sorry, I don't know. Someone tried to call me, but I declined it, and then it cut out. My fault.
Yeah, no. It's probably the kids from the other room. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give Dad a call. He's been on that long enough. Yeah. So anyways, no, I do want to, all that being said, that if somebody wanted to get a hold of your music, listen to your music, I imagine you have a YouTube channel. I know that. But where can they get your music?
Yeah. So you can get our music anywhere you stream your music. So Spotify, Apple, Amazon, obviously, yeah, YouTube. But the easiest thing to do for anything and everything is just my website, which is haydenhaddock.com. And that has links to shows, merch, music, everything under the sun.
Merch is very important.
Yeah. But yeah, haydenhaddock.com is the easiest way.
Yeah, exactly. Support the artist. When you see them on Skip Happens, if they have a merchandise link, click on it, support the artist. It's very important. This is their livelihood. So, and what I was going to say before somebody tried to call you from the other room was, no, I'm just kidding. But your family, you're the only musician in your family.
Right.
And you've had a number one song on that Texas chart. How does the family react to that? Knowing that, hey, my brother or my son or, he's a number one recording artist in Texas.
Yeah, no, they were very proud and very happy. And obviously, yeah, that was one of those things. They've been very supportive and very, I guess you could say, close to my career this whole time. So I think it was kind of a win for all of us, and like I said earlier, kind of a feather in the cap for all of us. So it was definitely a cool feeling to be able to kind of send out the text in our family chat that, hey, finally got to the number one spot.
Yeah. Did you guys party? Did you get some beer and celebrate? What did you do?
Oh yeah, we're always partying. Come on. No, yeah, we did. We all went to dinner and celebrated a little bit.
I love it. What is before I let you go, what is the most trouble you've ever gotten into?
Man,
we're all kids, man. At one time, we did a lot of crazy stuff.
Trying to think, because honestly, growing up, like me and my oldest brother, I think, got in all the trouble. I think he kind of took it away from us. But no, we, other than like staying out late or closing the door with the girlfriend or something, probably, we really didn't get into much trouble like at school or anything. I did get in trouble when I was in like middle school for kissing my girlfriend after hours after football practice. She was a cheerleader. So then we had to go call our parents in the office. Other than that, but like I've never had anything with the law.
How would a parent handle that though? I mean, come on, it's a part of growing up.
My dad just kind of chuckled because you also got to remember I've got two older brothers, so it wasn't nothing he hadn't dealt with before.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
hey,
but
what's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say no. Other than that, no, really, just never got in much trouble. Was always tried to be kind of a good kid, and we were raised kind of hard, so obviously we knew if we did something wrong, we were going to get our butt
that's a
whooped.
Good thing.
So
made you a good person, the good person that you are today by being raised that way. So that's cool. How many kids do you have?
I actually don't have any.
Oh, okay. I thought early on you said you had one or two, so I didn't know.
No, yeah. So the phone call was actually my grandfather. You were joking about it being my kid in the other room. It was my grandfather. Yeah.
I love it. Well, tell him we said hello. So,
Will do.
anyways, we're going to let you go. I want to thank you for taking the time tonight to join us here on Skip Happens. And, it's going to wrap it up for this episode. Big thanks to Hayden Haddock for hanging out, sharing the stories, giving us an inside look at the music. It's really cool, especially the new single, Hell or High Whiskey. By the way, I went looking for the video. There's no video yet?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
We're going to do something, though.
But the single is out. So if you've enjoyed the conversation, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out more artist interviews. You'll see them all right here on Skip Happens. We're now going to add Hayden Haddock to that list. You can also catch me on 92.1 The Wolf here in Syracuse. Follow along on all our socials to stay connected. And I want to say thanks for listening. Thank you for supporting the artist. And as always, we'll see you on the next episode of Skip Happens. Hayden, thank you so much. We're going to sign
Absolutely.
off. And stay right there. We're going to say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please help me. There you go. All right. Here we go.